TikTok faced a key court hearing Monday in its lawsuit to block a law that could ban the social media app in the United States early next year. The app is used by 170 million American users. That's nearly half of the U.S. population. Jan Crawford is in Washington with more details. Jan?
Yeah, John, the judges here in the federal D.C. Court of Appeals, they heard arguments about an hour and a half over that new law that would force the Chinese owner of TikTok to basically shut down operations in the United States in January unless it's sold to a non-Chinese owner. Now, TikTok is challenging that law. They're looking for the courts to step in and block it. They're saying it violates the First Amendment of American citizens because all those users, about 150 million American users, should be able to pick the social media outlet of their choice. But the federal government is ardently defending it. It was obviously passed with bipartisan support in Congress. Obviously, you know how often that happens. President Biden signed it into law. And the government says it's critical because TikTok, it says, is actually a national security threat. And that's because it's owned by a Chinese-based company, and the Chinese government could come in and demand all this personal data from all those 150 million or so American users. And it also, the government says, could ask to control the TikTok content that viewers see, which means that the Chinese government could start manipulating American public opinion. That's what the federal government say the stakes are. And I think the judges in this argument today were pretty sympathetic to those arguments and skeptical of some of the things that TikTok was trying to argue. But the bottom line is, whatever happens in this federal appeals court, and we expect their decision sometime in December, it's not the last word. The Supreme Court is going to have the final say on this, obviously, by January, John.
Jan Crawford in Washington, thank you. CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson joins me now. Jessica, so Jan just laid out the case, national security versus free speech, but there's not an absolute freedom of speech in America. So in trying to make their case, did the TikTok lawyers what's their argument, and how do they fit into that idea that, you can't just do whatever you want in terms of free speech?
Well, you're exactly right. No law doesn't actually mean no law when it comes to the First Amendment, because I teach a whole semester on this. It would be a very short semester if it really was an absolute prohibition. So what TikTok is saying is that when it comes to the First Amendment, exactly as Jan laid out, they're really focusing on the First Amendment rights of users, of those who post and those who get information, because we know that the First Amendment protects speakers and listeners. And what TikTok is saying is apply the highest level of scrutiny. We know that you can burden the freedom of speech, but we think in this situation, you have to apply something called strict scrutiny, which, John, I know that we've talked about this before, and you know what I mean, which is government, you need the most compelling interest possible. The government is saying we have it, it's national security. And I think this is where it gets trickier, and there's no other way to accomplish this goal. This law is so-called narrowly tailored. There's no better way to try and protect our national security. And that's where I think you might see the most movement from this court. As Jan said very clearly, though, here we are. It's the internet, and it's the First Amendment, and it's a matter of first impression. And you can bet that we might see that the Supreme Court take this up.
And if it's narrowly tailored, is the idea there that you tailor it narrowly and say, this is about China. China is a particular, this isn't like Belgium owning, a social media platform. China is a particular kind of U.S. adversary. And so this is essentially a one-off. Don't make a claim that this is the slippery slope and suddenly all social media is going to be covered. Is that essentially the government's argument?
I think you would have done a great job in court this morning. I think that is exactly the government's argument, which is it's not all of a sudden that any time a company is owned by a foreign country that we're saying there's a problem here. There's something very specific, not just about China, but about ByteDance, which owns TikTok, and about how they function. And they collect a lot of information, and they provide with their algorithms a lot of information. And both sides of that, the collection, which the government's saying we don't trust them, and the dissemination, which the government's saying we don't trust them, mean that you can, in this rare circumstance, say you have to sell. And again, the government, I think, is trying to be very clear that this doesn't suddenly mean now Facebook, now Instagram, now Snapchat, everybody else, you're on the chopping block. The government's saying it's just about ByteDance, and there was no other way to accomplish our national security goals.
And finally, quickly, if it gets to the Supreme Court, is the question going to be that this right doesn't exist, in other words, to claim that it's a national security issue, or that they have misapplied it, those who would seek to limit TikTok? Or will it be, do you think, some other third thing in this conflict between national security and free speech?
Is it door number 1, 2, or 3? So I would say 1, we don't know for sure, but let's remember that when it comes to the government saying, I have a national security concern, whether that be Congress, whether or not that be the president, or whether it be both of them together, typically speaking, courts will defer, because this is an issue where unelected judges don't want to say, let me go ahead and substitute my own judgment for those of elected officials. So I think the idea of there is a national security concern, that's not going to be where we see the most play for the Supreme Court. It will be, how can you go about protecting us from that concern?
Right. Excellent. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson. Thank you as always, Jessica.